Hi guys, welcome to today's class. Today we'll be looking at IGCSE Mathematics questions. Now, the first question we have there says, find the value of the reciprocal of 0 over 0.4. Now, we have 0.4 and changing 0.4 to a fraction would give us 4 over 10. So the reciprocal of 4 over 10 would be 10 over 4, which when broken down gives us 5 over 2, and that will be 2, 1 over 2. So the value of the reciprocal of 0.4 would be 2 whole number 1 over 2. Now, our next question says, write those numbers in order, starting with the smallest. That means they want us to write this number in an ascending order. Now, the first number we have there is 6 over 7. The next is 8.6 times 10 raised to the power minus 1. And the next is 11 over 13. And next we have 86.5%. Okay, so for this and this, we would convert to fractions. So converting 8.6 times 10 raised to the power minus 1 would give us 0.86, okay? And 0.86 to fraction would be 86 divided by 100. All right, and for 86.5% would be 86.5 over 100. Now, moving our points, this gives us 865 divided by 1,000. Okay, so we can break this down to its lowest end. Breaking this down to its lowest end, we have 86 divided by 2 would give us 43 over 50, and this gives us 865 divided by 5 gives us 173 over 200. Now, back to our question where we have 6 over 7 and 43 over 50 and 11 over 13, then the last one would be 173 over 200. Now, for us to know which of them is the smallest, we are going to multiply through each and every of them with a common factor. All right, multiplying through, let's use 1,000. So this we are having as 6 times 1,000 divided by 7. That gives us 857.14, and this gives us 1,000 divided by 50 times 43 gives us 860, and 1,000 divided by 13 times 11 gives us 846.15, and 1,000 divided by 200 times 173 gives us 865. So now, among these numbers, we can see that our smallest number will be 11 over 13, followed by 6 over 7. Then we have 43 over 50 and 173 over 200. So with this, we've arranged it from the smallest number to the largest number. Now, our next question says, draw all the lines of symmetry in this quadrilateral. Now, for this quadrilateral, this is square, and for a square, we know that all sides are equal. So all lines of symmetry, what's a line of symmetry? A line of symmetry is a line that divides the shape into two mirror image of itself, or two equal parts. Okay, so that one part is a mirror image of the other part, gives us a line of symmetry. So first we have our first line. This is a mirror image of this. Then the second line, this is a mirror image of this. And the third line, then the fourth line. So for our diagram there, which is a square, it has 4 lines of symmetry. Now the B aspect says, write down the mathematical name of a quadrilateral that has rotational symmetry of order 2. Now, when we talk about rotational symmetry, it simply means in either ways you rotate it, it still gives you same shape. Now, for our quadrilateral that has a rotational symmetry of order 2 would be a parallelogram. All right, so our parallelogram has a rotational symmetry of order 2. The temperature at midnight is -4 degrees Celsius. The temperature at noonday is 25 degrees Celsius. Work out the difference between these two temperatures. Now, when we talk about difference, we talk about subtraction. Okay, so our temperature at midnight is -4 degrees, and noonday is 25 degrees Celsius. So when we talk about the difference, this becomes difference equals 25 minus 4. All right, so minus and minus gives us plus, so this becomes 25 plus 4 degrees Celsius. So this becomes 29 degrees Celsius. Now, for our next question, it says a gardener charges $6.55 for each hour he works plus a fixed charge of $15.50. Calculate the total amount he charges when he works for 4 hours. Now, for 1 hour, his charge is $6.55 plus our fixed charge is 15.5. Okay, now for 4 hours, we are having it as 4 hours, 4 times the cost of 1 hour. So this becomes 4 times 6.55. So 4 times 6.55 gives us $26.2. So now, if he's charging $26, 2 cents, 20 cents, or 2 cents or 20 cents, that means plus his total cost would be 4 hours plus the fixed cost. So this becomes 26.2 plus 15 point. Okay, so this will give us 41.7 dollars. So his total cost for 4 hours would be $41.7. Jonah has $750. He spends 1/4 of his money on travel and some of this money on food. He now has $437.50. Work out the fraction of the $750 he spends on food. Now, from our first statement, the total amount is 750. All right. Now he spends on travel. He spends 1/4 of 750, which when worked out, we have 1/4 times 750 over 1. All right. Now, 750 divided by 4 gives us $187.50. All right. That's what he spends on travels. Now, they said what is left? Left is 437.50. So here, before we get to this, let's look at total amount left after subtracting what is spent on travels. So this would be 750 minus 187.5, which gives us 750 minus 187.5. We are left with 562.5. Okay, and he's left with this. Okay, so we are having 750 minus what is left, 437.5. Okay, 750 minus 437.5 would be 312.5. Okay, that means he spent this on travel and food. So for us to find how much he spent on food only, we would subtract that of travel from this. So for food, we have it as 312.5 minus 187.5, which gives us 125. That means he spent $125 on food. All right, so since we're asked to find the fraction of this amount to food, the fraction would be amount spent on food over the total. All right, so 750 divided by 125 would give us 6. So this becomes 1/6. So he spent 1/6 of the amount on food. Now, to the next question, it says A is equal to our matrix 5 and minus 7, and B is 6 and minus 7. So we should find A minus B. This is 5 and minus 7, and B equals 6 and minus 7. So A equals 5 over minus 7, and B is 6 over minus 7. So for us to work out A minus B, we would have it as the factors of A, 5 and minus 7, minus 6, minus 7. All right, minus times minus gives us plus. So this becomes 5 minus 6 and minus 7 plus 7. So our final answer would be minus 1 and 0. So A minus B would give us minus 1 and 0. So our next question, it says, these are the first 4 terms of a sequence. Now we have 23, 17, 11, and 5. The question says, write the next 2 terms down and find the nth term of this sequence. Now, for us to find the next 2 terms, we need to understand what's the rule guiding the sequence. Now, for every sequence, there's a guiding rule behind that sequence. Now, for this sequence, for us to find the rule guiding the sequence, we are going to look at although the difference between our first and second terms and third and second term and the fourth and third terms, are they consistent? Now, if we have 17, which is at term 2, minus 23, that gives us a minus 6. All right, 11 minus 17 gives us a minus 6. 5 minus 11 gives us a minus 6. That is to say, for each of our term, for us to find our next term, we are going to subtract 6 from our previous term. So for our next term here, would be 5. Let's call this x and y. So for x will be 5 minus 6. And 5 minus 6 will give us minus 1. Okay? And for y, our next term will be minus 1, minus 6. And minus 1 minus 6 would give us a minus 7. So the next two terms for this sequence would be minus 1 and minus 7. Now, our next question says, write 0.04628 correct to two significant figures. Now, if we are working on significant figures, we are going to consider the entire number in question. But if we are working in decimal places, we would consider the position of the decimal point. Now, since we are asked to correct to two significant figures, okay, we are looking at our entire number, 0.04628. Now, for it to be in two significant figures, we only need to see two digits. That means two significant digits. Now, remember that when working in significant figures, your zeros before your decimal points are not significant. That is to say, these zeros here are not significant. Our first significant number is 4. Then the second significant number will be 6. Third significant number will be 2. And the fourth significant number will be 8. So to two significant number, we will be having this as 0.046. Why? Because the next number to 6 isn't up to 5 that we would round it up, but rather it becomes 0, 0. So our two significant figure, our number will be 0.046. On the Venn diagram, shade the region A union B. Now, we have a Venn diagram as this. All right. Now, if you are looking for A union B is simply the addition of both sets A and B. If we talk about A intersection B, then we'll talk about what's common to both sets A and what's also common to both sets B. All right. So for A union B would be this. So this forms our A union B. And our next question says, factorize completely. We have 20x minus 90x squared. Okay, in order to factorize this completely, we would look for a common term that is between 20 and 90. Okay, so let's look for our common factor here. We have 20x and 90x squared. All right, x is common. Our highest common factor here, x is common. So this becomes 20x and 90x. Sorry, 20 and 90x. So what else? 10 can divide this to give us 2 and 9x. So our highest common factor here will become 10x. So now dividing both sides by 10x, we have this as 20x over 10x minus 90x squared over 10x. So we are going to have this as 10x out. We will be left with 2 minus 9x. So having this, we factorized our question completely. Our next question says, describe the type of correlation between speed of runners and the time taken to complete a race. All right, now we know that the faster a runner runs, the slower his time taken. So more speed means smaller time, and smaller speed, lower speed means more time. Okay, so if we have high speed means low time, and low speed means more time. Now from this, we can see that this is inverse of this. So speed, we can say, is inverse of our time. Okay, for our speed to be more, then our time has to be low. Then if our time is more, then our speed has to be low. So for the correlation, since the relationship between speed and time is inverse, okay, the relationship is inverse, that means the correlation will be negative. The correlation would be a negative one, since the relationship between speed and time is negative, or rather is inverse. Since the relationship between speed and time is inverse, then the correlation will be negative. Our next question says, a circle has an area of 36 pi centimeters squared. Okay, we have our area of circle, which is pi r squared, to be 36 pi cm squared. All right, and the question says, find the circumference of the circle. We know that circumference is 2 pi r. Give your answer in terms of pi. Okay, so for us to find the circumference of circle, we need to find our area, our radius. So from area, we know that pi r squared equals 36 pi. So divide both sides by pi. This becomes pi r squared over pi equals 36 pi over pi. Pi cancels pi, leaving you with r squared equals 36. So therefore, our r will be our root of 36, which gives us 6. So the radius of the circle would be 6 centimeters. Now, for us to find the circumference of a circle, we know that our circumference equals 2 pi r, which is going to be 2 times pi times 6, which gives us 12 pi. So our circumference of the circle is 12 pi, since we are asked to leave it in terms of pi. Now, the next part of the question says, this circle forms the base of a cylinder. Okay, we have a cylinder this way, and the circle forms the base, where we know that our r is what? 6, and the circumference of the circle is 12 pi, all right, with height h, and we are given the volume of this cylinder, volume, to be 540 pi centimeter cube. Now we are asked to work out the value of the height of the cylinder. Now, For us to work out the volume of the height of the cylinder, we know that volume equals 540 pi centimeter squared, cube, and we know that volume equals length times breadth times height, or area times height. Okay, now we know that our area of our our circle is 36 centimeters and 36 pi. Okay, so this becomes 36 pi times h equals 540 pi. All right, so h would be 540 pi divided by 36 pi. Pi cancels pi, so 540 divided by 36 gives us h equals 15 centimeters. So the height of this cylinder would be 15 centimeters. Our next question says, without using a calculator, work out two whole number 1/4 divided by 7/8. Now, you must show all your workings and give your answer as a mixed number in its simplest form. Now, for us to do this, we would first of all convert our two whole number 1/4 and one whole number 7/8, which are mixed numbers, to improper fractions. And to do that, we have two whole number 1/4 would be 2 times 4 plus 1 all over 4, which gives us 2 times 4 gives us 8. 8 plus 1 gives us 9/4. And for one whole number 7/8, we have it as 1 times 8 plus 7 all over 8. 1 times 8 is 8, and 8 plus 7 gives us 15/4. Over 8. Now, replacing this, we have it as 9/4 divided by 15/8. Okay, so from here, we can turn our division sign to be multiplication by doing the inverse of 15/8. So this gives us 9/4 times 8/15. Now, notice that as I change my sign from division to multiplication, my denominator becomes my numerator, and my numerator becomes my denominator. So from here, we can cancel out 4 here, 1, 4 into 8, 2, 3 into 9, 3, 3 into 15, 5. So this leaves us with 3 times 2 all over 5. 3 times 2 gives us 6/5. Now, they said, give your answer in a mixed number in the simplest form. So this is an improper fraction. So for us to turn it to a mixed number would be one whole number 1/5. So with this, we've simplified our question. So our next question, it says, find the value of x in 5 raised to power 7 divided by 5 raised to power x equals 5 raised to power 3. Now, in our law of indices, we can equate all these bases. Our division becomes subtraction, and our multiplication becomes addition. So we can rewrite this to be 5 raised to power 7 minus x, since all are in same basis of 5, equals 5 raised to power 3. Now, equating our bases, we have it as 7 minus x equals 3. Okay? So, collecting like terms, this becomes 7 minus 3 equals x. So, x equals 4. So, the value of x in this question would be 4. Alright guys, with this, we've come to the end of today's class. If there be any questions, put them down in the comment section below. See you in our next class.
Hi, I'm sure you enjoyed the content you just watched. To see more episodes as that, preparing you for your oncoming exams, Smash the subscribe button on this channel right now and visit the playlist that we've made for you, covering over 50 type of different exams, including JAMB, WAEC, Kakao,